Chapter 3, Courts and Their Importance, Part 2.
Welcome children to the part 2 of this chapter. Read and understand. The court at the lower level is Taluka court. See, in the first part we have seen the 3 levels of the court. So at lower level it is Taluka court. Such courts are called trial courts. So Taluka court are also known as trial courts. District courts are above Taluka court. So the next level is the district courts, which are above the Taluka court, and the head of the district court is the head of the district courts is the high court. So above district courts we have the high court. In this last thing we have seen, see, Taluka court, then we have district court, and the head of the district court is the high court. Understand? So these are, see, this is the picture of the Gujarat High Court, which we can see while we are going to Gandhinagar. So it is on the SG highway. If we are going from Ahmedabad to Gandhinagar, on the left hand side we can see the Gujarat High Court. So whenever you people are travelling from Ahmedabad to Gandhinagar, try and observe this. On the left hand you would get this Gujarat High Court. Moving ahead in this chapter, Hansaba's land. Now this is another story through which they are trying to make us understand the courts and its importance. So we will read this story, Hansaba's land. There was once a landlord in the small town who everyone was afraid of. He owned a majority of land area in the town. There was an old lady, Hansaben, whose farm was near his land. The landlord gradually started capturing the land nearby. So what happened, in the small town there used to live a landlord who was very much well known in the village because he was very bad in nature. Everyone was very afraid of him, and he owned a majority of a land in that town. Majority of land area was his in that town. And the old lady Hansaben, whose farm was next to his farm, what this landlord did, he gradually started capturing the land which was nearby to his land. Okay. Slowly and steadily the landlord encroached upon half of Hansaben's territory, her farm, and did not give her land or money in return. Thus, in order to get back her land, Hansaben filed a case in the Taluka court. Now, what happened, slowly and steadily, the landlord encroached upon half of Hansaben's territory. Encroach means क्या? जबरदस्ती से ले लेना. उसने टेकन अवे, ही हैज़ टेकन अवे, ज़बरदस्ती से बिना किसी हंसाबेन के नॉलेज के उनके फार्म को ले लिया. And when he has encroached this land, he has not given any money to Hansaben, or he is denying to give land also. मैं हंसाबेन का लैंड उसने ले भी लिया, ऐसा भी नहीं है कि उसने खरीदा हंसाबेन से, बस बिना पैसे के उनसे ले लिया, and now he is not giving her land also, or he has not given the money. So what Hansaben did, in order to get back her land, she filed a complaint in the Taluka court. Both the landlord as well as Hansaben presented their argument in the court. Both of them, landlord and Hansaben, they both has given their points, they have stated their arguments in front of the court, in front of the judge. The judge here heard their argument and gave the verdict in favor of Hansaben. Now Hansaben, what the judge has done, he heard to both of them, he or she. Judge can be any gender, he can be he also, he can be she. So the judge has heard their argument and they gave verdict in favor of Hansaben. So in this Hansaben's land, Hansaben got the victory. Now over here they have given answer, think question. Only civil cases are heard in the Taluka court. House, land and property cases are called as civil cases. If people do not get justice in Taluka court, they can appeal to the district court. Appeal means what? They can go and they can file and they can seek justice from the district court if they do not get any satisfactory justice from the Taluka court. Moving ahead in the chapter, High Court. The highest court in our country is the Supreme Court. So above High Court we have Supreme Court as the highest court in our country. Every state has a High Court. The High Court of our state is in Ahmedabad. The jurisdiction of the courts of all the state is decided by the High Court. All the High Courts are uniform and are called Court of Records. Now they are saying that every country is having the highest justice giving center, that is the Supreme Court. But every state is also having a High Court, and High Court of Gujarat is in Ahmedabad. The jurisdiction of the courts of all the state is decided by the High Court. So if it is in Gujarat, so district court and the taluka court jurisdiction is been decided by the High Court. Jurisdiction means what? Area of working. All the high courts are uniform and are called the Court of Records. The functioning of the High Court is uniform everywhere, be it be the state of Gujarat, be it be the state of Maharashtra, and this is called, and they are also uniform means same, and they are also called as the Court of Records. There are other judges to help the main justice at the High Court. Now the judges are also there to give when the final judgment is given, and and in this entire process there are other judges who help the main judge who is going to give the justice. Okay, so they have a team over here in the court to work. Anyone has the right to appeal in a high court for public welfare. However, if anyone appeal for the wrong reason and waste the court's time, she could be punished. See, we have a freedom to get justice, and justice would also be given unbiasedly to us, and anyone can appeal means what? Can go to court and seek justice for the welfare of the people. But if court find that the judgment, if court find that person is just wasting the time of the court and the reason for which they have came to seek the justice is not valid enough, then she would get punished for wasting the time of the court. The state things to know. The state high court judge takes the oath in front of the governor. See, so high court judges, they take oath in the front of the governor. Generally, the lawyers argue in the high court. If required, both the petitioner and the accused are called in the front of the court. Now what happened? Lawyers are there who argue in the front of court, and if required, the petitioner, the one who has filed the case, and the one who against whom the case is being filed, that is called an accused, they are called in the court. Judgment of Gabbar. Now in this judgment of Gabbar we will study. There was a village called Ranpur. The head of that village was Lalji Mukhi. It was winter. One day, while returning home from the farm late in the evening, a car suddenly stopped near him. Now what happened? There was a village named Ranpur, and the head of that village was Lalji Mukhi, and it was a winter time, and when he was returning late in the evening, when he was returning home back in the evening, which was little late in nature, a car suddenly stopped nearby him. What happened next? A few men got down from the car, attacked him and left him badly injured. The person who attacked him was known Rafain Gabbar. Mukhi filed a case against Gabbar and got him arrested. Now what happened? A few men got down from their car and attacked this Lalji Mukhi, and he was very badly injured, and keeping him and leaving him that injured, these people went away. The person who attacked him was a Rafin Gabbar, matlab well known Gunda, and the name of that Gunda was Gabbar. Mukhi filed a case against that Gabbar and got him arrested. Gabbar was asked to remain present in the court. After the argument from both the lawyer, the judgment was passed in Gabbar's favor. So when he filed the case, both the parties were asked to remain present. Gabbar was asked to remain present in the court. And when the lawyers of both the parties have given their argument and the judgment was passed in the favor of Gabbar, that means Gabbar was not found guilty. Thus Gabbar was set free and Mukhi did not get justice. So Gabbar was set all free and Mukhi did not get the justice. Gabbar kept threatening Mukhi repeatedly and even threatened to kill him. Now what this Gabbar has done? He used to threaten, धमकी देता था ये मुखी को और ऐसी भी धमकी देता था कि मैं उसे मार दूंगा. Mukhi was fed up of this and thus decided to appeal in a high court. So when he didn't got the needed justice in the lower court, he went to the high court. So he filed the case against Gabbar again in the high court. The high court heard the argument from both the sides. The judgment of the high court was different from that of the district court. So when Mukhi didn't got the judgment, which favorable judgment from the district court, he went to high court and he got the favorable justice from the high court. Gabbar was convicted. Convicted means what? He was considered as the one important criminal in this entire case. पकड़ लिया था उसको and Mukhi got justice. Hence, if a person doesn't get justice from the district court, she can appeal in the high court. So they are saying when the person does not get justice, people can move to the higher courts and would get justice from the higher courts. So we all have this freedom that if we are not getting justice from the lower court, we always have an opportunity to go to the higher court. Now children, over here I would like to make you understand very important terminologies that is been very important, and different words, new words are coming to us, like petitioner. Now what the person who files the complaint or case, she is known as the petitioner. Appeal. A petition filed before the high court when the judgment of the lower court is not accepted, then that particular thing is known as appeal. Okay. Witness. The person who presents evidence before the court in support of the petitioner or the defendant is known as witness. So now children, these all are the words that are coming. So you must understand the important terminologies over here. Okay. I will be giving you the PDF in which the meanings of it would be mentioned. Please read them very carefully. Now things to know. Every district has criminal court. The policemen arrest criminals on the basis of the complaint filed against them. So every district has a criminal court and policemen arrest the criminals on the basis of the complaints that is been filed. Then criminal gets punishment like penalty, life imprisonment or death sentences etc. on the basis of the type of crime committed by him or her. So the criminal would get punishment, and the severity or the seriousness of the punishment, severity of the crime that they have done would decide what would be the punishment of theirs. Theft, robbery, duel, murder, physical harm or any kind of fight comes under criminal cases. So these type of crime done by the people would be dealing with the criminal cases. See, such actions are known as criminal cases. When the police get to know about the crime for the first time, an FRI, first information report is registered. So when the police comes to when the police gets an information and about the crime that has been done, for the first time, at that point in time, the first information, FIR means what? First information report is registered. I have pronounced FRI. I have pronounced this FIR in different way. Pardon me that, I am sorry for it. I correct it over here, FIR. Okay. Or we can also say it first report information, but the correct way of pronouncing and saying it, FIR, first information report. So over here they have given a small incidents where you have to read and think and write your understanding over here, which you can do it later on. Now we'll move ahead. Jugnu. There was an abominable and a cruel man named Jugnu. Now, very cruel and very corrupt person was there, and his name was Jugnu. People were afraid of him as he could rob and kill anyone. He was so dangerous in nature that people were really afraid of him because he could rob and kill anybody. One day, a social worker visited that village. Since Jugnu's deeds were of criminal offence, she filed a case against him in the district criminal court. One day a social worker went to that village, and the deeds, the works that this Jugnu has done was of criminal offence in nature. She filed the complaint against him in the district criminal court in order to save people from his terror. She filed a case so that people are safe from his terror. He was tried in court, but the lady lost the case as no one dared to speak against Jugnu. Though she has filed a case, but when he went to the court, there was no one who had this daring, who has this courage that anyone could come up and speak against Jugnu. However, if people have witnessed against Jugnu without fear, what verdict would have been passed? So if they are asking a question, if there would have been any kind of witness who would have spoke anything, not anything, who had spoke something against Jugnu, then without fear, then what verdict would have been passed? So they are asking. She lost the case because she was not having any witness who had given any kind, who didn't dare to speak against Jugnu. But if there would have been people who has witnessed against Jugnu, what kind of verdict according to you people would have been passed? So what I think, if people would have done the daring, if they have showed this courage, and if they really want to get out of this terror thing of Jugnu, they would have given and they would have spoke in front of a judge against Jugnu that he is doing such kind of acts with us, because of which we are very terrified, and then the social worker would have won the case and Jugnu would have been behind the bar. So at times it becomes very important for a court to give a right judgment, that people should come up and speak for their rights. People would come and speak for the rightful thing. People would come and speak for welfare of society at large. When people would dare to do such things, then only the courts would be able to give the right judgment in favor and in welfare of the people. So over here, see, Jugnu, mock court. This is a picture of a mock court. Okay. So in this way, we end our chapter over here, the courts and its importance. Okay. So I will be sending you the PDFs and the vocabulary of the important and the new word which we have came across in this chapter. Thank you.